Hi guys, it's your girl Ola, the hashtag baker. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's video. I'm so sorry again that I've been away for so long, but it's been mental. I'm really grateful for all you guys' support. Orders have been going crazy and I'm just really happy about it. So in the next couple of weeks I'm going to bring in lots more videos because I'm doing a lot more baking. But today is all about that fluffy sweet cinnamon roll. It's been really cold in the last couple of days. I say really cold. It's been colder than it has been before. So I am whipping up some cinnamon rolls today. They're really fluffy and sweet, really sticky as well when they come straight out of the oven, and smothered in cream cheese as well. I've got some important news to tell you guys in the next couple of days, so just watch this space. Let's go. So I'm just sprinkling the flour onto the surface. Make sure you do quite a liberal amount just so we don't have our dough sticking. I made the dough beforehand and I just combined sugar, milk, yeast, butter, eggs and flour. And I use bread flour because it gives you a much softer, fluffier dough. So what I'm going to do is just stretch out this dough. Normally I use a rolling pin to do this, but today I just felt like the dough was a really soft texture, so I knew I could spread it by hand. You don't have to do it this way, but it's also much more fun this way, guys. So just pat it down, not too aggressively because you know it is dough. We want to treat it well. We want a fluffy roll. It does look like I am being quite violent, but I'm not. Also, please, guys, make sure you spread your flour everywhere. Put it on the floor, put it on your head. Just make sure your roll does not stick. It's so irritating, but it's so annoying. So just make sure you're pressing it down into a floured surface. So yeah. At this point, guys, you're going to see me try and stretch the dough. I do not recommend doing this if you have not done it before, just because this is not a really glutinous kind of roll. Basically, the gluten hasn't stretched enough that you can really stretch it as well as you could a pizza dough or a bread dough. I just do it so that I can get a little bit more length in the roll, but if you've never done it before, I just don't recommend it because it's likely that your dough will tear, and that's just a catastrophe. And I'm coming back in with my chatter about super soft butter. I'm not going to stop saying it. Super soft, super soft, super soft. It needs to be soft so you can spread it like peanut butter jelly, but not. It needs to be really soft, guys, basically. You can melt it if you want to. Some people do. I don't, because then that's just a hot mess. But it needs to be really spreadable. Obviously, you see me with the spatula of life. But yeah, make sure you are spreading it all the way to the edges. None of this 1 centimeter border blah. Make sure you spread it to the edges so that you can get a decent sticky roll from the edges to the center. Now, in regards to the sugar, I use brown sugar and obviously cinnamon. You can use whatever type of cinnamon you want, but I recommend that you use about 4 tablespoons at least. I like my rolls pretty spicy, so add as much of that spice as you want to. And you can mix it up with nutmeg or all-purpose or cloves, but you know, just know your balance. In regards to the brown sugar, I'm not gonna lie, I did this by eye. I always do it by eye and it always comes out delicious. I'm sorry. But yeah, I just recommend pouring it on. You can mix it beforehand, which is what I did initially, but then what I did after was added additional cinnamon and then additional brown sugar, because this is really the key to cinnamon rolls. It's gonna make it sticky and spicy at the same time. So this needs to be to your taste, to your flavor. Basically, if you smell it and you're like, I can't even smell any cinnamon, add some more. If you're like, whoa, damn, that's cinnamony, then chill. Don't add any more. But if you think there's not really that much sugar, you can definitely add more. But you can see I'm spreading it out, making sure before I add more sugar, because this is gonna make your roll sweet and it's gonna make it sticky and messy, which is all good things, but you know, most things in moderation. And you can see here, guys, I'm just going to start patting the sugar into the dough. That just makes it a lot easier to roll so that sugar's not flying everywhere, and also it won't escape as you slice and put it in a pan. So just pat it down really well. You'll see that it looks like the butter's starting to melt into the sugar. That's fine. As I said, it's just going to make life much easier for you. And I did say before, I added a little bit more cinnamon and a little bit more sugar, but do as you please. Okay, so when I said about rolling it out by hand, this can be a flaw because it's much harder to control the shape. So you see here, I've just taken my big knife that I'm going to use to cut the cinnamon rolls, just to make it a bit more of a rectangle so that your rolls are much easier to slice. Otherwise, as you start to roll it, you've got an uneven edge. It basically means you're going to waste the end slice, and I'm not about that waste when it comes to cinnamon rolls. So just square it off as you can. And now it's time to roll. So just pinch it tightly. Sorry, my arm is in the way. It's hard, guys. Pinch it tightly and roll as you go. As you can see, the dough is very soft, so it's actually rolling away. But just pinch it and tuck, pinch and tuck, pinch and tuck. And just keep doing this. Please make sure you tuck it in. Don't just start rolling as if this is a Swiss roll. It ain't. You need to roll it and tuck it so that it's tight. Otherwise, there'll be air bubbles. And when you slice it, it'll just fall apart and drama. Guys, I've been there. I've done that. I'm letting you know so you do not need to suffer. Just keep rolling it, pinching it. You see me rolling and pinching, roll and pinch, roll and pinch. I tuck in the ends as well to stop like the insides flowing out. So just give that a nice tap on the side and then roll and pinch, girl. Now when you get to the end, I actually roll it all the way onto the, what should we call it, the lip or the edge of the cinnamon roll, and then roll it straight on top, so that that edge that is closest to you is now underneath the roll. That's so that when I slice, it doesn't start to unravel. This means though, when you do slice, you'll have to peel it off to tuck that end off. I'll show you what I mean in a second, but right now I'm going to get to cutting. So some people use dental floss to stop it from squashing the roll. I believe if you have a super sharp knife, you don't need dental floss. You can do it with a really sharp knife and you'll be fine. Even this knife I've got, it's not even that super sharp, but you just know that you're not trying to squash it down, you're not trying to squeeze it so you can cut it. Hold it delicately like you love it, guys. It's a cinnamon roll, love it. Now I am cutting mine into 8. Normally I do it into 12, but I did want a bigger roll just to, I ain't gonna lie, just because I wanted to eat a bigger roll, but so I just cut it into 8. But if you want to cut it into 12, please cut it in half, cut your halves into halves, and cut your halves into thirds. It sounds crazy, but you'll get it as you start to do it. Because I'm cutting it into 8, I cut it in half, I cut my halves into halves, and I cut those into half. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So I can't believe I just said that, lol. So just slice it, and you're just taking the knife back and forth as if you're sawing it, back and forth, back, long strides, and then at the bottom just slice it straight down so that you know you've got the bottom. You're not gonna try and pull them apart and they're still stuck, because then your roll is gonna unravel basically. So oh, look at the inside of that one, guys. Damn. So just look at it, it looks fluffy and delicious. So yeah, I just popped some of these rolls into a plastic container inside foil, just so you know you can freeze these and then defrost them and pop them back in the oven. They're just as delicious. I just wanted to show you what I meant about the tuck under technique. So essentially when you pick up your roll after slicing, you'll see it has like the little end piece. Sorry, you can't really see it well. So you just tuck that to the bottom of the roll and it stops the whole thing unraveling. Sometimes when you allow the roll to rise, it actually will just unravel because it's not secured. So yeah, I just do that on some of my rolls, not all of them. After this, guys, I preheat my oven and let the rolls rise for 30 minutes more, just so they can get to this fluffy stage, and then I pop them in the oven. 30 minutes later, look at these golden, crusty, crunchy, delicious rolls. They are literally so sweet. The sugar bubbles over, and then I smother them in cream cheese with a little lemon zest to cut through that sweetness. And guys, oh my gosh, It's so delicious. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys, to this week's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow on Instagram, check out the website, make your orders for cinnamon rolls, and I'll see you soon. God bless.